Today I'm going to introduce you to a prayer practice of loving kindness. I like this prayer when it's hard to pray. My prayer list sometimes becomes really long and it can turn out tedious or chore-like, and so this is a good way to reset my desire to pray for people. It's also really good for when I'm finding my capacity for loving limited, either by a specific event that's happened, a mood that I am in, or an interaction that I've had with a particular person. God is described in the Hebrew Bible as having chesed, which is roughly translated as loving kindness. And the unique quality of chesed is that it is unlimited in nature. And so God has this unlimited capacity for loving kindness in our scriptures. And we know that we are to be conduits of God's love, the vessels for sharing God's love in the world. And so if that is true, then this prayer helps to take us from a trickle to a fire hose. That's the goal of this prayer. So today I'm going to walk you through those steps, a little bit of a guided prayer, so that you can do this on your own whenever you'd like to. The first thing you're going to need to do is to find a quiet and comfortable place. And then I want you to spend a few moments centering yourself in God's loving kindness for you. You are created in God's image. You have a limitless capacity for loving kindness within you as well. I want you to tap into that capacity for limitless loving kindness. Once you're feeling God's love for you and feeling how that flows into your own capacity for love, I want you to bring to mind someone that you love very much. Embrace them with loving kindness. Ask God to bless them. Now I want you to bring to mind a casual friend or a coworker, someone who's not in your inner circle, but someone you admire or appreciate. As you think of them, embrace them with loving kindness. Ask God to bless them. Now I want you to think of someone that you're indifferent to, someone you don't know, a store clerk or a crossing guard, someone that you see in your day-to-day life but perhaps don't know. Wrap them in loving kindness. Ask God to bless them. Now I want you to bring to mind someone who has hurt you, or perhaps you find difficult to like or don't enjoy being around. Embrace them too with loving kindness. Ask God to bless them. Now I want you to bring all four of the people that you've thought about and yourself into the flow of God's limitless loving kindness. And hold them all there for a few moments. Finally, extend that flow to include the whole of creation. No one is excluded. All are embraced by God's limitless loving kindness. May stay in that flow as long as you'd like. But for now, amen. This is really a wonderful prayer anytime that you have some time to set aside for prayer, but I especially enjoy this prayer right before I fall to sleep. There's something about falling asleep filled with that capacity and basking in the glow of God's loving kindness that just feels wonderful. Regardless, it is a prayer practice, and so the more you practice, the more you will expand your capacity for loving kindness and tap into God's limitless loving kindness as you are a conduit for it. God will use you to share that love and kindness with the whole world. Grace and peace.